In Underhanded, the new novel by Jim Billman, Sonny Kristoff shares his adventures during the changing times after World War II with a refreshing inside-out look at history. Written from the perspective of men's fast-pitch softball, this was the time when baseball's little brother became America's most popular team sport. But unlike baseball, its imperfect dimensions brought about its demise. Order Underhanded on Amazon. Underhanded by longtime Southeast Iowa native Jim Billman. Available now.
Welcome to Mahaska County Conservation's Great Outdoors. I'm Laura DeCook, the naturalist for the Mahaska County Conservation. Today, I will finish talking about the process of making homemade maple syrup. And so far, the maple trees have been tapped and the sap has been collected. So next, it is time to evaporate and finish the sap into delicious maple syrup. The evaporating process is simply a process to take the water out of the sap. Remember, sugar maple sap has about 3% sugar and 97% water, and it takes about 40 gallons of maple tree sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. So let me explain how to start evaporating. Here at Mahaska County Conservation, we use a wood stove that has been converted into an evaporator. The evaporator pan is located on top, and we use wood heat to heat up the sap. Before heating your pan, flood it first with sap and keep a shallow liquid depth, less than 2 inches in the pan, and this provides better boiling. However, the risk of burning the pan or scorching the syrup is greater if the sap level is too shallow, so it is important to keep an eye on its progress. And keep the heat high, don't stir. During the boiling process, foam may develop. Use a spoon to reduce the amount of foam and watch the sap level in the pan when boiling. As sap boils, the level will drop and the sap will become more concentrated and the boiling temperature will increase. The boiling temperature should start around 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And when the sap level drops in the pan, add more sap from your collection container to boil down. Continue to add more sap to maintain a constant sap level in the pan and to maintain a boiling temperature between 212 degrees Fahrenheit and 218 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the evaporating sap is more condensed, it is time to finish the syrup making process. It's very difficult to finish syrup on a large flat pan over an open fire like you were while evaporating. So remove the pan with the concentrated sap from the fire before the syrup is made. Transfer the concentrated sap into a smaller boiling pan or pot. I like to use a stainless steel stock pot. Now you can complete the finishing process on a controlled heat source, such as a gas burner, camp stove, or a kitchen range. Once the syrup temperature reaches 219 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 7.5 degrees above the boiling temperature of water, the syrup is finished. Another way to determine the syrup is finished is to use a hydrometer instrument, which lets you know the density of your syrup. This is what we use with our syrup. Simply let the hydrometer float in a sampling tube and look to see its progress. The hydrometer is marked to show when your syrup is finished. Filtering removes sugar, sand, and other debris that may have been in your sap during the boiling process. Wool felt or Orlon filters are available to use for filtering. Using paper inserts for the wool filters work well too. Filter the hot syrup and cover it to stop evaporation and to retain heat. Then wash and rinse filters in hot water only, no soap or detergents. Now it is time to pack the syrup. Syrup must be packed hot, anywhere from 185 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit. Refilter it if the syrup is reheated to over 195 degrees. So once you pour your syrup into your container, put the cap on immediately and place the container upside down to seal it, and then on its side to cool. Store it in a cool, dry place. Packed syrup can be frozen for longer storage, and syrup that has not packed by a hot method can be kept in the refrigerator or freezer. Well, there you go. Now we have syrup. Well, thanks for joining me today in Mahaska County Conservation's Great Outdoors. Well, let's get together same time next week, and have a great day.